Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to this week's Who Review for. So, before I get mention anything, there are going to be massive spoilers because I can't help myself. So, yeah, obviously, this week's Eurovision, and in the Whoniverse, it's the Interstellar Song Contest. So, basically, in the far future, the 30th century, um, they have the Interstellar Song Contest, which is broadcast across the universe. And Rylan Clarke, yes, that Rylan Clarke, is always put into cryostasis before being awakened and hosts the show with a cat like alien woman. And yeah, we then find these two alien creatures attacking the studio called Lefarians or something like that. Humanoid creatures with horns that spawn from the back of their necks, and they're attacking the whole situation and want to broadcast a death signal. Also, the Doctor and Belinda arrive and think, okay, let's have some fun whilst the tractor thing, gets working. And yeah, we see Mrs. Flood in the audience at the Interstellar Song Contest. Then the Farians, sabotage and blow the air bubble, but everyone has a safety pack on them so they don't die in space, but they freeze. And yeah, the Doctor goes up into space among them, along with the TARDIS, except for Belinda. She manages not to. And then, of course, the Doctor then hears a voice and sees a face, a very familiar face, and that is, of course, none other than his granddaughter Susan Foreman. Yes, Carol Ann Ford returns, reprising her role, talking to the Doctor telepathically, and we're wondering what's that about. I don't think the Doctor fully knows yet. And then, of course, the Doctor, comes across the whole bad guys of this episode and deals with them, manages to stop them, and goes a bit mad at one point with power and ends up sort of torturing him. But then Belinda manages to stop him and talk him round, and then they start to save the whole crowd, the whole darn crowd, to Bucks Fizz, Speed It Up. Yeah, a song that the UK won Eurovision with back in the 80s. Yeah, everyone's saved. They resume the show. One of our contestants, who is revealed to be one of those creatures with the horns, sings a song, because they find out that the corporation, the Interstellar Corporation, have been harnessing their planet for their honey and just ruined it and invaded it and stuff. And that was the motivation between the antagonists of this week's episode. Then, of course, the episode ends where the Doctor and Belinda see a hologram of Graham Norton. Yeah, he cameos in this because there's a museum on it. And he even then tells them the history of the universe, and then tells her that May 23rd, 2025, the Earth was destroyed, obliterated, and now the Doctor and Belinda know that Earth is gone, and that's why the TARDIS won't take them back. But of course, they do manage to, but it doesn't look pleasant for whatever it is, and the Doctor is going to, being the Doctor, he goes and he's determined to save the Earth. Then, of course, we get a mid-credit scene where they save Mrs. Flood, and we finally get our answer on who she is. So we've theorised who she is. Could she be the god of stories? Could she be the Doctor's granddaughter Susan? No, she's not, but she is an old face, because at the end she's revealed to start regenerating, but then it turns out she's bi-generating, and she turns out to be none other than the Rani. Yes, the Rani is back for the first time in nearly 40 years. She's returned. First played by Kate O'Mara in 1985 and 1987, And she only ever appeared twice in the classic era in two seasons and then Dimensions in Time in 1993. But yes, she's back in the modern era. It took them long enough. I was saying that, we've had the Master come back in the revival era way back in 2007. We had Rassilon come back. I thought, yeah, it's long overdue for another Time Lord baddie to return. And of course, they finally got the Rani back. But when they bring back classic foes, it's really down to the creators' estate, the writers. Like, for example, they had to get approval from, like, Robert Holmes and Terrence Dicks's estates to bring back the Master, and they always have to run it by Terry Nation's estate if they want to bring back the Daleks. But yeah, they've obviously managed to get that approval from Pip and Jane Baker's estate, who created the Rani and wrote her stories. And yeah, she's come back and bi-generated, so there's now two Ranis out there. And well, it's clearly going to take us into the finale because she's been tracking it all and trying to find a way back. So what's going to happen now? And this whole time, the Rani's been among us, disguised as Mrs. Flood. Yeah, so we finally get our answer on that. So what did I like about this week's episode? I gotta say, this series has been a massive improvement. Season 1 was a bit series 14 as well. But this series, it has been a huge improvement. The first two episodes were basic, I liked looks. But the well was a big return to form. One of Ncuti's best ones I've seen, sequel to Midnight. And the series has gotten better from there, I think. It definitely has. Gotten better from there and picked up from there. And this episode was, again, probably goes down as one of my favourites this series. I'm not really a fan of Eurovision because I don't watch it because it's all diplomatical, they vote for each other, etc. And I'm not getting into details about that. But, yeah, they thought, let's do the Interstellar Song Contest, the universal thing. And also Rylan Clarke. I don't know much about him other than he's a presenter, TV presenter or reality personality. And they got him on board for this. He clearly is a Who fan. We got cameo from Graham Norton as a hologram of himself as well, because we all know Graham Norton does the voiceover for Eurovision and hosts it when the UK hosts it, which has only happened once so far in this century. The year we should have won, but that was all, Ukraine was having a rough time and stuff, still are, but yeah, Graham Norton cameoed, and I liked that. I guess guest appearances in this. Also, Ncuti Gatwa, brilliant as the Doctor. I really took to him this series. I think he's great, fantastic. I love him, and also Varada Sethu as Belinda. Seeing her again, I've took a bit of time warming up to her, but she's all right. She's okay, and maybe we need another season from her to see her full potential. And that we're not seeing much of Ruby this season because what happened last season. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Also, it has been confirmed that season 3 or series 16 is officially happening. It's been confirmed, it's happening. I really hope we get it next year, maybe in the late second half of the year, I don't know. But yeah, season 3 is happening. Also, I was not expecting things at all that I saw, like Susan Foreman returned. Caroline Ford reprised her role as Susan, and when I saw that, my jaw dropped. I did not see that coming at all. That was insane, and I think she's got to come back properly, see the Doctor now, and refer to his grandfather. She knows it's him, obviously. I mean, last season we were teased about it, thinking it's Susan Triad Susan, but it wasn't. It was a trap set up by Sutek. But this time, we actually see her on screen for the first time in 40 years. 40 years. The last time she played Susan was in the 20th anniversary special, The Five Doctors, and she, left way back in 1964, like the first companion exit. And yeah, she obviously hasn't changed her appearance. She's grown old, yeah, but still Susan. So yeah, yeah. And let's point out the next big elephant in the room, Mrs. Flood revealing to be the Rani. Again, I had my suspicions she was going to be an old face, a familiar face, and we've all been right in assuming so. So the Rani is back. What's going to happen? Is she going to come into the finale? I now strongly believe that it was her that picked up the toy maker's tooth that contained the master in the giggle. I think that was her. And I feel like the master's going to come back. I mean, the Rani's returned. The master, though, there's no mention or sign of him yet or anything like that. But look, I think that, we should prepare for the master's return. Even if he doesn't come back, it's all put in motion anyway, isn't it, for the master's return? I actually won't mind seeing him come back. Because we now know that Mrs. Flood is the Rani, and I think she's got the master maybe operating with her behind the scenes. I don't know. We'll maybe find out in the finale and why Earth got destroyed. But for now, yeah, we gotta wait and see. Next week, the penultimate episode where all gets revealed. Why has Earth been destroyed? We got one question answered. Mrs. Flood, who she is. Now we need to know what's going on in this penultimate episode, which the penultimate episode always reveals all. Then we just enjoy the finale, don't we? So, yeah, May 23rd, this season, the penultimate episode, and then, of course, the week after, the finale. So, after that, Doctor Who will end, and, well, the show won't end, the show will return, obviously for a Christmas episode, but, yeah, that'll be it for Season 2, or Series 15. So, yeah, that was an insane episode. The visuals were great, CGI, I know, but, that's what I expect from this show. Great visuals, great scenes and settings, great guest appearances. Is it the best episode this season? Maybe. I'd say The Well and this episode are definitely the top two best ones of this season so far, but we shall see more when we see the first part of the finale next week. So let's have enough chinwagging now. I'm sure I've told you enough, and if you're still here listening, thanks, it means a lot. So let's wrap this up with my ratings. Performances, they get a massive 9. The writing, an 8. The visuals, an 8. And my personal, it's getting a 9 because, wow. So yeah, that's it for this week's Who Review Thoughts. Did you see it? I'm sure you did, because I did warn you all about spoilers. So yeah, that's it for this week. So be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and feel free, so be sure to do all that if you wish, and I'll be seeing you. I've been Davros the Whovian, and this has been a Who Review Thoughts. So until next time, run for your life.